Yo, what's going on YouTube? So in today's video, I'm gonna talk about like all the dragons and all the factions, like what do they do, what kind of playstyle do they like specialize in, and yeah. So let's start with the first dragon, okay? Which is the nature dragon. That's what I would like to call it. Okay, it's pretty sick animation too. It's pretty well done. Alright, so let's check out the active ability. First thing first, all of these dragon, all of them, okay, every single one of them, doesn't matter like their faction or even their like their their stage. Okay, we have like the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. They all of them, they do still provide the basic buff. Okay, so this basic buff is like universal across these stages and also like all the different faction dragon. I could show you real quick. Okay, boom, still the same basic buff, and boom, basic buff. Okay, so every dragon has their own the same basic buff. The healing dragon will further increase the healings that done by a team for 30%, extra 30% right here. This number here, I want to talk about this number 3. Okay, this 3 number here means how many character ability that you need to cast before you can cast the dragon ability. So when it says 3, it means that you need to have 3 of your characters use their ability before you can use your dragon ability. Okay, so this number is different. Some dragon is okay, this same. This is 4. I believe this one is the most expensive one. Okay, and 3, 2, and 2 for the blue one. Yeah, okay, so it's different. This one also means that yeah, if your whole team, okay, your character in your team, all of them are very use maybe like use 2 energy cost or 3 energy cost, like very low. Like for those who play Clash Royale, you guys might understand like the average elixir cost, right? So if your whole team energy the average energy cost is very low, then which means that you can also spam the dragon ability quite more frequently. Okay, the nature fraction. Okay, so let's look at here. So yeah, this is mostly focused on mass healing, okay, and healing buffs with more heal. Okay, it's all about healing. And if for the nature faction, there's an exclusive buff right here, only exclusive to nature faction. So there's a rage meter. Okay, if you look at this screenshot, okay, you see the green bar below the HP bar. That's the rage meter. Okay, and this icon here is a wild state. So if the rage meter is filled up, okay, you can enter the wild state. So this wild state, you could think of it like the avatar state. Okay, so here you will see this icon for all of the nature faction character. But if you see, sometimes it's darken, sometimes it's light up. If it's darken like this, it means off. If it's light up, it means on. But as you can see, when it's on, the green bar, the rage meter, is no longer green, it becomes red. The reason is when you fill it up and it turns on the wild state, and then it will slowly consume the rage meter, okay, until it empty out. Okay, when it's empty out, and then you have to fill it up again and then enter wild state and then slowly consume and again. Okay, that's how the cycle goes. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so now we understand the mechanics of the rage meter and the wild state. So the question is, how do you gain rage? What kind of buff it provides during the wild state? Okay, these two questions is heavily depends on the character skills. Okay, I'm gonna give you some examples. Okay, I don't know what's her name. I'm just gonna call her the Raven Girl. Okay, let's look at her skill. Nothing special. Nothing special. Okay, right here. Okay, this mentioned the wild state. So, and during her wild stat, it increased 35% lifesteal and attack speed. And it also further increased the number of bouncing time for her attacks, bounce 2 more times. Different characters in their wild stat have like different special effect like this. Okay, you have to check it out one by one. Okay, looks like the nature team. As you can see, I'm losing a lot of HP, and it will slowly heal back up again because of the heavy healing. And the enemy team will just slowly die one by one. See? 2 HP. So yeah, that's the idea of the nature team. Just out heal your damage, out heal the enemy damage. Okay, so next faction will be the dark faction, the dark dragon. Alright, so let's check the active ability. So same basic buff again, and the exclusive thing is, it will at the start of the battle, it will randomly choose one of the enemy character and +1 to their ability energy cost. Okay, dark faction. Here we go. Okay, we already talked about this. Okay, so this faction is mainly focused in constantly adding the energy cost to the enemy abilities. So it's kind of like forcing the enemy team not to cast their ability, and they just normal attacks the whole fight, the whole battle. So it's very similar to silencing them. Yeah. And another exclusive debuff to the dark faction is punishment. I'm going to apologize that I'm not sure if this like the same terms or same name that they use in the global version. Okay, please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. And here's a translated description. Okay, I'm not sure it's accurate or not, but even if I read the Chinese one, it's still very confusing. Okay, this is really confusing. So I'll try my best to explain it right here. You can look it down here. So it basically means that any dark characters that has the ability to trigger this debuff, the punishment debuff, and at the same time, the enemy ability cost is also 4 or higher. Okay, if you met these 2 requirements, then you can trigger the dark character's special skill effects. Okay, let me show you an example. Which one I'm gonna use? Okay, I'm just gonna use her. Okay, so do we have the punishment debuff? No. Punishment. Oh, right here we have it. Okay, so this is the punishment debuff, and because if you remember, this faction, okay, the dark dragon also keep constantly +1 to the enemy ability cost, right? So eventually, at one point, you will also meet the second requirement here. So at one point, this requirement, you can meet this requirement from your character, you can meet this requirement from the dragon. Okay, if you both meet these 2 requirements, then you can activate the special effects. What kind of special effect do they offer? Let's check out this character here. So here it says that this skill is basically like a horizontal slash. Okay, if they meet the 2 requirement, it will push the enemy team further back. That's it. Okay, that's it for this one. But if I check, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. What about? Okay, here we have some more special effects. So if you look at this one right here, it says that for this horizontal slash, affected by this another debuff, which is reduce the enemy attack by 30% for 8 seconds. Okay, so yeah, so different dark character have like different kind of like special skill effects when you meet the 2 requirements that I talked about earlier. Okay, I want you to pay attention. Their energy cost right here. Okay, so it's red color. Red color means it's more expensive than the default energy cost. The plus 11, now it's 11, 6, okay, 5, 9, now it's 12. So it's basically, they cannot use the abilities at all because it's too expensive to cast. While meanwhile, mine is 3 hits 0 and 4. Yeah. I will constantly keep using my abilities while the enemy team is basically just normal attack the whole time. So
Yeah,
the next one would be the Summoner faction, which that's what I call it. Alright, let's check the ability. So same basic buff, and it will give extra 20% HP buff to summon units only the summon units. It doesn't include the characters, okay? Only the summon units. And that's it. I'm not gonna go through this again. Okay, you can go check it out yourself. So what about the ability cost? It costs 4. Okay, it means you need at least 4 of your character to cast the ability before you can cast the dragon ability. Okay, that's pretty much for this dragon. Now we are going to moving on to the faction itself. Alright, Summoner faction. So this faction is yeah, heavily focused in like summon units, okay? Because most of the buffs also like buff the summon unit as well. And another thing is, also exclusive to this faction, we have this buff here. It's not really a buff, it's like a stacks, okay? It's called Dead Rattle. So you can gain Dead Rattle stacks that will last till the end of the battle, okay? So it will never expire, and maximum you can go up to 30 max, okay? I do have a screenshot here, which I took it during one of my dude boss raid, okay? As you can see, almost near the end of the battle, this character has already maxed out the Dead Rattle stack. Okay, let's use her as an example. If we check out her active ability right here, okay, this thing, the Dead Rattle stack. So right here it says that any unit from your team die, you get +1 stack, and every 5 stacks that you have, her ability, which is fire a whole bunch of arrows in front of her direction, okay, it will further increase the number of arrow by 10. So if you have 30 stacks, right, and if you do the math, you have total of 60 additional arrows, which is insane amount of damage increase for her ability. Okay, not only this, if you go check out the other skill as well, let me check. Oh, we have another one right here. Okay, so it says that this is another one of a skill that it fires a kind of like a raining arrow. Okay, so every time she use a raining arrow, it will +1 to this stack again. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways. Different character have like different ways to get the stacks. It's very different from character to characters. So it's very hard for me to like show you all of it because there's so many characters. So okay, pay attention on the green number here. There's a green number. This one is already 9. Oh, I'm really surprised both are still full HP. Oh my god, that damage. Now it's 19, 25, 27. Oh my god, you see the damage? Yeah, so the higher the stack is, the higher the damage output. Yeah. Elemental. Yeah, I think I would like to call it Elemental, or much more appropriate names. Okay. So this Elemental faction here, the Fire Dragon, let's check out the ability. We have the same basic buff, and at the beginning of the battle, you have 2 points in the dragon ability, which means at the start of the battle, right, you already have 2 out of 3. So you only need to trigger, you only need to use one of your character ability before you can use the dragon ability. At the start, only at the start of the battle, okay? But after you use it once, then next time you have to use like 3 character abilities before you can use its ability again, okay? Yeah, this one is a little bit different compared to the other dragon. Okay, that's the specialty for this dragon. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I think this is the most complicated one because it's there's way too many kinds of like debuffs. Okay, so in the elemental faction, we have like the basic elemental debuffs, which consists of the burn, shock, chill, and you also have the advanced elemental debuffs, which consists of flash, freeze, and evaporate. Okay, these two, you can activate these two when you met these two conditions. If the targeted enemy are both having the chill debuff and the shock debuff right at the same time, then it will activate this. Okay, that's how it works. So this is kind of like I'm showing you guys the formula here. Okay, what do you need? Okay, there's another one called detonate, but this one it doesn't really consider as elemental debuffs. The reason why I'm thinking is probably because it doesn't have like a duration. Compared to this, they all have like duration. This one is just like an instance. Okay, so there's nothing like, it's not like a debuff, it's more like a instant of like damage. That's it. Okay, and like right here I did include this kind of like more detailed information for the basic elemental debuffs, but you can see all of this in your game as well. If I go to my let me find an elemental character. Okay, let's use her as example. Okay, this burn debuff. Okay, you can actually click on this and you see all the information. Even it also includes the formula. I didn't include this in my slide, but you can check them out in the game as well. Just simply click on it. Okay. Different elemental characters will trigger their special skill effects based on their elemental debuffs. Okay, I'm just gonna show you real quick. Okay, right here, her special skill effects, like in her like level 4 here, when she triggers like elemental debuff. Okay, when I say elemental debuffs, it includes the basic and advanced elemental debuffs. It will recover 30% lost HP. Okay, so which is pretty nice. I'm just gonna show you another example. Alright, so if you look at here, whenever she's attacking a targeted enemy that has elemental debuffs on them, alright, her normal attack will further increase by 34%. Okay, so that's it for this faction. We're going to move on to the next faction. Down one. Okay. I just lost my main CC. Three. Yeah. Now I just press it slowly. And that's it. Okay, so moving on is the light faction. Okay. Alright. So let's check out his active abilities. Okay, at the start of the battle, same thing. Okay, we still have the same basic buff, and it will also increase 30% both physical and magic defense of your. And another good thing for this in this dragon is it only costs 2 character abilities to cast the dragon ability, which is really cheap. Okay, which is really nice. Which also means that you can constantly spamming its ability. All right, so we are looking at the light faction right here. So light faction, their gameplay, their style is more mainly focused in like in terms of buff. Okay, there's so many different kind of buffs. Okay, so it has the blessing buffs, which consists of the 2 buff, fervor buff and morale buff. So these 2 here, I did write the description over here. So another very unique thing for the light faction is the moment you have these 2 buffs at the same time, your light character, okay, your light faction character will enter in a gray state, which is kind of similar to the 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 nature wild state, like a avatar state. Okay, the only requirements is you need both of these at the same time. And the good thing about this is this state never goes away. It doesn't expire. It lasts until the end of the battle. Okay, so what does this state do? Okay, when your character enter this state, it double both of these buff effects. Okay, so 15% will become 30%. Okay, I'm not sure about the duration as well. I don't think it will double the duration into 16 seconds. I think what they mean double, I think is only the percentage. I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure about this stuff. Okay, and not only they double both of these effects, but different light characters will also trigger different special skill effects during the gray state. Okay, I do have another screenshot right here. As you can see, this one only have the fervor state. It doesn't have the morale buff, so that's why it didn't trigger the gray state. While this character right here, as you can see, I only have the fervor buff, but I don't have the morale buff. But you can still see that I'm still having the grace state on. Well, the reason is at earlier, because this screenshot is taken near the end of the battle, but at the beginning of the battle I already have both of these activated. That's why I already have the grace state on almost right at the beginning of the battle. So even near the end of the battle, this thing is still activated. Okay, it never expire. It lasts until the end of the battle. That's the good thing about light faction. Okay, let's look at the special skill effects from some of the characters. Okay, we're gonna use her as an example to look at the some example of the special skill effects that are activated during the grace state. Okay, so let's check out her skills. Okay, right here I do see one of these. Okay, this is not the gray state, but this is the fervor buff. One of the requirement to activate the gray state. So right here at level 2, right at the beginning of the battle, she will provide this buff, the fervor buff, to all of your backline character. It doesn't matter is it belongs to light faction or not, or it can be any other faction. So if we check out maybe check out this one. Okay, right here. So during her gray state, her normal attack will no longer fire a regular arrow, but it will fire like a splitting arrow like this, just like the picture. It will split on impact. Okay, so this splitting arrow, it will deal 250% of the damage, but this 250% damage, it will never, you won't get any critical hit from these splitting attacks, only the main attack. Alright. Okay, now so let's try to check out maybe a different character, maybe this one. Let's see. Whilst that, no, I want to look for the blessing buff. Okay, we do have the blessing buff over here. During her gray state, it says that every second attack, okay, there's a cooldown by the way, okay, every second attack, it will release a tornado, okay, like a slashing tornado in front of her direction, and dealing 400 physical damage. Okay, so different characters have like their different special skill effects, okay, in the grace state. Okay, I think that's pretty much for it for the light faction. So we're gonna move on to the next faction. Look how many buffs. Look at her, okay? Oh my god, look at the buffs. There's 3 rows of buffs. Oh my god. Oh, this guy is just deleted. Okay, now we have reached the last faction, the Arcane faction. Okay, the special ability. Okay, so we still have the same basic buff right over here, and yeah, it's a little bit too much, but I think overall it's basically just increase your energy recharge rate and also reduce your character ability cost. Okay, that's the like overall idea of this dragon. And the good thing is it only costs 2 character ability, which is really cheap. Okay, I think that's it for this dragon. I'm gonna move on to the faction itself. Okay, Arcane faction. So in this faction, they do have their own exclusive unique buff, which is called Awakening. It looks something like this. Okay, I do have a screenshot right here. You will see the Roman numerals. So you can +1. This one is very similar to the Summoner faction, the Death Rattle stack. Okay, it doesn't do anything by itself. It's more like a currency. Okay, it's a stack. So you can get one stack, get one of these Awakening stack after each character ability cast from your team. But it can be from any faction, which means even if I only have one of my character is belongs to the Arcane faction and the rest of my team is does not belong to the Arcane faction, but every time they cast their ability, I'm still getting this +1. That's how it works. Okay, it's pretty insane, right? Yeah. So it can be from any faction. This is the key point here. And it doesn't expire. It lasts till the end of the battle. Okay. So the question is, what does these stacks do? And this question is heavily based on the character skills. Okay. So I'm just gonna show you some of the examples. Okay, let's look at this character. Let's see if she has any special effects, special skill effects. Okay, we do have one over here. Fancy Awakening. Okay, right here. Every time she uses the ability and you have the stack, she will consume 1 stack to fire a big arrow. Okay, a very powerful arrow that will deal this amount of damage. Okay, and also get another stack of this, which I believe this stack is exclusive to her only. Yeah, so different Arcane character have like unique special skill effects for their Awakening stacks. Maybe we can check out another one more. Maybe. Okay, so right here, every time my team character use an ability, it will +1 of this stack, like I mentioned earlier. And every time she use this ability, which have a cooldown of like 12 seconds, it will consume 3 stacks of this. Okay, 3 stacks to release a powerful like a sword swing that deal this damage and apply this debuff. Okay, reduce enemy physical defense by 35% for 8 seconds. Okay. And then spam your skill. That's the plan for using Infinite Energy faction. So let's see. Oh, never mind. She's the first one to die, unfortunately. We are not looking good. We just lost our main CC here. We lost two. Okay. It's not looking good. We might lose this battle. Wait, 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 wait. No way. No freaking way. We just made a comeback. Oh my god. So yeah, as do you see that? It's zero energy cost. Yeah. Let's go for this. Alright, the top one. Top one, they use Fire Dragon. This guy, I don't think. Okay, she's using the Summoner Dragon. What about you? Energy Dragon. Energy Dragon. Light Dragon. Wow, okay, Light Dragon. Really rare. Energy Dragon. Energy Dragon. Energy Dragon. Energy. So as you can see, okay, there's a lot of people using energy. Dark Dragon, alright. Oh, Fire Dragon, okay. Nice. Healing Dragon, alright. Energy. 16. Summoner. Also Summoner. 19. Summoner. Energy, and rank 20 is energy. Okay, and that's it for this video. If you enjoy watching this video to the end, please give this video a like. That would really means a lot to me. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Bye.